Well, good evening, everybody. It is Monday night, and so it is time for our regular weekly Team Eagles Zoom chat. And we are very excited this evening. We have somebody very special with us tonight, and I will be introducing him in just a very short while. Now, I know we have some newcomers on the call tonight, so let me just say we are Mick and Jenny Daly. We are National Marketing Directors in your support line, living in the beautiful chilly mountains of Colorado, along with our two married sons and their families who live just about 5 minutes away from us. And I tell you, life is good. This business has been very good to us over the last, oh my gosh, nearly 30 years now, giving us the not only the financial freedom, but the time freedom as well to really make a life. And you'll hear more about that in a little while. So let's kick this off as always. Mick, would you like to give us an update on the contest?
I'll be very happy to. I think we're missing Rachel tonight, and I think we're missing Amanda, but I know Nicole is on. And Nicole Helmstetter, look at this. I'm looking at you, girl. This contest is at the top, as tight as it's been. We only have, let's see, three more days. We close out this month, 5 o'clock Central Time on what we know as Qualifiers Day, the first of the month. And if you're new to us, then by all means, come along here and take a look at this. There will be a link to this in our Team Eagles Facebook group, posted tomorrow together with the picture of the leaderboard. But the great news for all of Amanda, Nicole, and Rachel is that each of them are guaranteed to win at least $50 this month. The winner of the contest will get 50 and then will receive another, I'll highlight it, another 150 at the conference in Phoenix.
Oh, Mick, another 100. Come on.
Another 100. Whoops, Freudian slip. Another 100 if they come and are there at the Phoenix conference. But we amended the rules in light of the 90-day game plan so that anyone who finishes second, third, or fourth with at least 500 points in the month will get the $50. They won't get the 100, but they will get the 50. So we will know in 3 days, and it's up to, not to say that one of the others, like Cheryl or Linda, couldn't jump up there. Linda, I know, is looking to sponsor another rep, and that would give her 100 points plus a $100-point bonus. So she'd be pushing up there as well. So who knows? Somebody will win, but everyone wins if they are in that top leaderboard. And if you want to know what that means, then check it out. Read the rules of the contest. So, Jenny, over to you to introduce our dear friend, Monsieur Curt Beavers.
Absolutely. And I'm very excited this evening, and we're very grateful to Curt for joining us. And it really does give me great pleasure to introduce him. He has become a very dear friend of ours for, oh my gosh, nearly 30 years now, I believe.
Yeah.
So, as most of you know, Curt is our sponsor in Juice Plus. He is a national marketing director, member of the prestigious 100 Club. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't actually a 500 clubber, because he's built his Juice Plus business all around the world. Well, we first met Curt back when we lived in Dallas, as I said, nearly 30 years ago, when he was a young man of about 25. I don't remember exactly how old he was, but he was married to his wonderful wife, Laurie. They both and their entire family have become good friends of ours over the years. Today they have 3 grown children, Trey, Hope, and Zach. And hard to believe, but they are also grandparents today as well. So congratulations on all that, Curt. Now, Curt's passion is very much his family, his business, and his church. He is, as some of you just heard, he's a native of Atlanta, Georgia. He enjoys hunting and fishing, snow skiing, golf and tennis. I believe, Curt, you still run pretty much every day. You love the outdoors, and you always welcome the opportunity to acknowledge God as the creator. Now, he has a generous heart of hospitality, and among other things, many of you know, he is responsible for the wonderful prayer breakfast that so many of us have been blessed to attend on Friday mornings during the Juice Plus conference. And he was also instrumental in founding the Dollar Fund, which was launched at our Indie conference last October. So his encouragement to others is to make a life, as I said earlier, not just a living. In fact, he has published a book with that very same title, which I strongly recommend you read if you haven't already done so. So Curt, I know you have much wisdom and a lot of practical advice to share with us this evening, so over to you.
Thank you, Mick and Jenny, and I do appreciate, more than being in business with you, I appreciate being your friends and having the opportunity to do life eternally together, which is a good thing. So I do want to share with you guys a little bit tonight, and Jenny and Mick have told you a little bit about my story. I'm going to tell you just a little more, only because I want to go back to the beginnings for us and paint you a picture of a journey that I think is attractive to a lot of people, because I think when we build this business, you know, learning how to become personally, but also as part of our message, our mission, learning how to become attractive is much easier than recruiting. You know, I've always told people that when you become attractive, you'll never have to recruit again. And that doesn't mean attractive with hair, makeup, and the car you drive and the clothes you wear. It means that you build a life and you are in the process of you crafting that life, that journey becomes attractive to others. And that's why I wrote the book, Make a Life, Not Just a Living, because that's not just a title. That really is, I think, a chronic problem in our country today. And my wife and I we were 22 and 23 when we got in this business, and we were right in the middle of that chronic problem. And it's not just this generation. It's been around for quite a while. Probably became post-World War II when we got industrialized and stuff. The problem probably reached the origins of its peak. But let me kind of describe for you where we were as a young couple and the whole chronic problem I'm trying to mention to you. And is a young couple, I graduated from Georgia Tech. Lori had a degree in computer science, didn't have a 4-year degree, but she had a 2-year degree in computer science. And we got married right out of school, met at church. And I had great job offers. Procter & Gamble, IBM, they wanted to send me to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and Bowling Green, Kentucky, company car, great job. But I I wasn't necessarily a homebody, but I was rooted and connected. And, you know, I didn't want to go up north. I wanted to stay in Atlanta, and really didn't want a job, but needed money, needed income. And so I began a quest to find a way I could stay in Atlanta. I decided to get in real estate. And so Lori and I were both in Atlanta. I didn't have near as good a job as I could have had if I had, you know, just taken the job offers from tech and gone after IBM or Procter & Gamble right out of the gate. But we both had a job. We had an apartment. We had cars that we had to pay for. And we were making it, but there was not, you know, it was a struggle. And so that kind of sets me up to explain the problem. I think what happens today is people, the picture is go get a degree, get a job, get married, get a house, have kids, bigger house, have kids, you know, you upgrade, and as you get your raises and you're at your job, you constantly have your resume posted on monster.com looking for the next better job. And so there's this massive cycle of degree, job, upgrade house, upgrade job, upgrade kids, upgrade job, upgrade car, you know, so there's this picture of what happens in our country. And it's not a bad picture, but there's also an industry that has attached itself to that. And it's the financial planning and the investment world. And they come along and they say, if you get that job, float your resume. If you'll work 35 or 40 years and fund your 401k, when you're 65, there's an amazing life in front of you. And that's where I just kind of got frustrated. And like, I really didn't want to fund a 401k for 35 years to be able to enjoy life and do things at that stage of the game. And I'll never forget I got to meet Sean and Jennifer Myers that are in the business with us. They're in Colorado. They're in Denver, actually. Some of you probably know them. I know Mick and Jenny do. And I was on an airplane, and Sean and Jennifer are great friends, and we share life stories together. Sean and I played golf. We've done amazing trips together, and they've taken some amazing trips. And I was on an airplane. I was reading this magazine, and there was this huge picture of this couple that looked like they were probably, 65 to 70 years old. They were happy. They were smiling, but they were feeble and they were elderly, and they were on this amazing sailboat sailing around the world by themselves. And it was talking about the fruits of retirement. And I'm like, I had just seen Sean and Jennifer's pictures of them in their mid-30s getting a boat just as big and sailing around the world with their kids in their 30s. And this big, crazy picture of retirement that was being painted was, fund your 401k, and in 35 years you can sail around the world by yourself. And, there are light bulbs that go off. So that some of those things are really why I wrote the book, because there were so many friends around me that had gotten caught up in that expectation of get a degree, get a job, an upgrade, that whole expectation or tradition or whatever you call it in our country. But then once they got that job, they invested most of their life in that career versus in what they really wanted to do. And when my parents got divorced and I had a surrogate father and many different spiritual mentors in my life, if you call them that, one of them really at 13 told me I needed a purpose for my life. And so that didn't sink in very well at 13, but it did plant a seed, and a root was planted in my life. And what I just shared with you combined with purpose is the whole reason I wrote that book. Everybody has a purpose, a passion, a reason for existing. And so many people around me, their life is geared towards making a living, not making a life. Their life is geared towards creating the paycheck versus making the life they want to make. And so it's that book, and that title is not just a saying or a slogan or a marketing title for a book. It's the frustration that I see in the people around me as I do life every day. And this business offered me an escape from that. And I feel very blessed. And so I thought I'd go back to the beginnings of that journey, because each and every one of you on this phone probably, or on this call tonight, probably at some point in time, you decided to do this business because there was something that this business was going to help you achieve that you wouldn't have been able to achieve otherwise. That was at least the plan. Now, whether all of you have accomplished that or not, or still are working towards that, I got in this business, first of all, to make $1,000 a month. I didn't get in this business to get rich. I didn't get in this business to make anywhere near the fraction of the money and the time freedom we have today. Because if someone had told Lori and I, hey, you can make $10,000 a month, at 22 and 23, we probably would not have believed them, and we probably would have just blown them off and gone on. But we did believe we could make $1,000 a month. If we did nothing but sell the product and never recruited anybody, we believed we could make $1,000 a month. And so this business has changed our life, and we're very grateful. Even if all it had done, if we had created that $1,000 a month of residual income and Lori had been able to stay at home and be a mom, and I had gone on about my career and done whatever I did, that would have been a blessing. It would have changed our life because Lori got to be at home. That was our big problem we solved. And then the career change came later. So don't think anything is too small. We have people making $500 a month, and we have people making $500 an hour, and everywhere in between in this business. And so we started with a small beginning. But here's the thing that I wanted to share with you guys tonight, and kind of leverage not just me telling you. I can go tell you to use this YouTube channel and this video and draw the marketing plan like this, but I really thought about what I was going to share with you tonight, and I wanted to share with you what really happened to us and kind of map out a plan for you. So we decided we could make $1,000 a month. Now, factual story, we did get 38 customers our first month. Of those 38, 13 of them had a life situation like we did. The mom wanted to stay at home. The dad was on an airplane 4 or 5 days a week and didn't get to see his family. They wanted more time freedom. They were passionate about doing ministry or some other things, and they wanted to create a path to get there. So 13 of those 38 customers actually looked at the business, either one-on-one or came to an event with us, and 5 joined us. So the first month we got 38 customers, 5 distributors. So that's actually what happened. But what I wanted you to see is when, even though we were just trying to make $1,000 a month, we decided we were all in for a season. And being all in may mean different things to each of you individually, but I don't know how many of you are big NCAA basketball fans or college football fans, or what consumes your passion when you're not busy working. I had just graduated from Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had been in the Final Four 2 of the 4 years that I was in school. And I was an ACC basketball nut. I mean, I loved ACC basketball. And, I mean, I was a student, so I got to go to the games. But when I graduated, I thought I could save enough money and buy tickets. But I didn't know that you had to donate enough money in order to let them offer you the opportunity to buy tickets. And I was, it was like very disappointing that I had left being in my student status and I no longer got into the games. So me and 3 of my friends, we decided we could chip in enough together to make the donation to buy 2 tickets. And we were all excited. And that November, Lori and I had heard our pastor preach a sermon on getting out of debt. She was really distraught about, we'll never have kids. And I said, why? Well, I can't stay at home. So that began our journey to find that $1,000 a month opportunity. And in December, we decided to do this business. And guess how many basketball games I went to that year? After having made the donation, after having bought the tickets, I went to 0. Because we decided we were going to put our resources in this business, that there'd be basketball later. There'd be opportunities to buy tickets again. But we had an opportunity right now to buckle down and build our business. Now, everybody that I recruited didn't do that from day one, but everybody that we brought into this business that's built the business they wanted to build, built the residual income they wanted to build, they will go back and tell you there was a season when they decided I'm all in. We didn't watch TV. We didn't go to basketball games. There was at least 90 days of, other than sleeping and eating and taking care of primary bodily needs or whatever you had to do to just to stay alive, our focus for 90 days was building this business. And we worked really hard the first 12 months, but there was a point in time at which we went from we're trying to make $1,000 a month to, after the first full month, somebody that did understand the business sat down and explained it to us, and we did change our goal. We wanted to become a national marketing director. We changed our goal, and 4 months into the business, I was able to go full time with my wife. But we had blinders on. I'm not saying that there are not other important things in life, but what could you, if you really want to build this business, what could you set aside that is still going to be there in 6 months? That's not going to go away. What could you set aside and say, I'm going to get back to this in 6 months. I've got to take the next 6 months and do what I need to do to go build my business. And then what Lori and I were saying, we'll have more time to do those things we set aside. Now I can buy tickets to any kind of sporting event I want to. I bought tickets for my whole family to go to the national championship football game. And, that was probably the same price as season tickets to that basketball game for 4 years, just to go to one game. And so, but we set aside the immediate gratification for long-term stability and a foundation that's literally, you can see it funding the fruitfulness of our grandchildren already. Setting aside that time to focus on building this business 30 years ago has already poured into the 3rd generation in our family. And, a lot of people don't see it that way. There are lots of ways to make money in our country. We live in an amazing country. We have the freedom to do lots of things. You can build houses. You can sell different things. But whatever you're going to do, you have to decide and commit to doing it to build that foundation. And I don't know that there's another business out there that has the upside that this business does for a $50 investment. And for $50, you're owning a franchise. You can pass it down to your kids. You can build it in multiple countries around the world. You can get full medical and health benefits. You can get an expense allowance from the company. You can get college tuition reimbursement from the company. I mean, I just filled out the form today to get college tuition reimbursement for 2 kids for last semester, and I've got 3 kids. And so, 12 years of college, the company's been paying for all my kids to go to school, And so if you understand the upside of this business, you'll buckle down and pay. You'll do what you need to do. But my goal tonight was to get you to understand that what's sitting out there for you is so worth you getting the distractions out of the way for a season in your life. And everybody has different distractions. Sometimes I say all excuses are equal because to some degree they are. Everybody, we all can come up with excuses. They'll probably all be different, but we've all got things we could come up with. And so what I want to challenge you to do is as you get off the call tonight, when do you want your Juice Plus business to create that financial freedom for you? When do you want that Juice Plus business to be able to pay your mortgage payment? When do you want that Juice Plus business to be able to equal your full-time income at your job? You don't have to quit your job, but wouldn't it be nice for your Juice Plus check to equal that so you had that option if you wanted to? When do you want your Juice Plus business to be able to pay to send your kids to private school? There are all kind of things that we all want from this. I mean, I've got a friend, she was a dental hygienist, and she wanted to be able to, she didn't hate her job, but she had such a desire to be with her horse. She had a horse. She was an equestrian. She loved it, but she was one day a week at best to go pat the horse and ride it for 30 minutes because she worked so hard. And the minute she was able to quit her job as a dental hygienist and be able to spend the days she wanted to spend with her horse, it changed her life. It freed her up. It fulfilled a passion that she wanted, And so we've all got different things. And that's why we go back and talk about what's your why, what's your purpose. Well, if you understand that, then you're willing to pay the price. Sometimes I'll be standing on a stage somewhere and I'll walk over to stage right and I'll say, okay, if you could craft what you want your tomorrow to look like. If right now, if you were to think about, okay, in 12 months, 24 months, in 5 years, this is what I want my life to look like. And then if you go back over here, stage left over to today, if you focus on what you do today and just the activities, it'll become mundane and you'll give up. It's kind of like if you just focus on, I got to do another 500 sit-ups today. I got to go run 5 miles today. At some point in time, you're the misery of how you describe that to yourself. It's going to cause you to stop doing it. But if you're over here and you're looking at, my blue jeans are going to fit. I've got a 6-pack abs. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be able to climb a mountain when I'm 60 or whatever. That motivates you to exercise. Okay. So it's over here. The benefit of the exercise is what makes you do the push-ups today. It's not just that you want to do those push-ups so bad. No, you do the push-ups because you want this. Well, that's what we did with this business. We figured out what this business could provide for us over here. And then we figured out what we needed to do today over and over and over and over again in order to get this over here. And so all of a sudden we were focused on this as our motivation and where we were going to end up. But we were over here doing these things because we connected the dots. And so what you're doing over here, it's more like once you discover that like the HLP is the building block, the brick that there are thousands of in this mansion you're going to live in over here. And once you get really good at laying that brick, then the house you're building for tomorrow is easily seen. It's easily achieved. It's just bricks. It's just a bunch of bricks. You can't do it by yourself, or you can't do it very fast by yourself. So it all goes back. The whole call tonight goes back to how committed are you at laying the bricks that are the foundation of building the business you want. And you know, Mick and Jenny have an amazing website. There's lots of information. You can get information overload out there very easily if you're not careful. But I want to challenge you to perfect creating one new HLP in your business every month. And what I would challenge you to do is, just like if you think Juice Plus is expensive, which it's not, it's probably one of the cheapest things you can do to invest in your body today. But if you have a mindset of this is expensive, when you talk to people, they're going to adopt that mindset. They're going to believe with you that it's expensive. I mean, I know how much money we save not buying laxatives and analgesics and all the things you would buy if you got sick. You know, nobody in my family's ever had a flu shot, you know? So, I mean, I know. I was on the phone with somebody earlier. He's in his 10th day of fighting the flu, and he got a flu shot, you know? So I know the value of the product. But if you think the HLP is difficult, then you're going to convey that it's difficult. I think it's the easiest thing we've ever done in our business. You become a customer and you get 2 customers. I mean, it is so easy.
You plus 2.
You plus 2. And if you, when you bring somebody into this business, just hold their hand until they get their 2 customers. Mm-hmm. You know, if I had read, I'll just pick one of my favorite books. I'll pick Purpose Driven Life. It's by Rick Warren. I love that book. If I had just read that book and I said, guys, you know what? I've always thought about purpose, but I just read a book that changed my life tonight. It really helped me understand that, you know, that I'm on this planet for a reason, and I need to seek finding that. And, you know, God wants me to know that, so he's going to reveal that to me. But I want to have a purpose-driven life. You've got to read this book. It's changed my life. You've got to read this book. It's going to help you see more clearly what purpose means in your life than ever before. So if I could tell that to 5 of my closest friends, and probably 4 out of 5 would be on Amazon on their, you know, before we hung up. Okay? Because I conveyed to them how important that book was to me. It was easy. And I'm not even in the book business. I guess I am a little bit, but I don't care. Anyway. But our business is the same thing. You get somebody in this business and you just go to your inner circle. You just need 2 customers. Get it done, knock it out. And now you've got almost the full 60 days to finish off your 2,000 to VF. Why would you wait 30 days to do your HLP? I mean, why? Yes, we have grace, but that doesn't mean you need to use it. You know? And, you know, so my challenge to you is master the HLP, master the building block that's going to build your house. And every month add somebody new to your team that's going to help you achieve that. And then, so you want to add a new HLP every month to your business. There's 2 other things. You want to get 5 customers a month till you get 25. And once you start adding that new HLP each month, you want to also help the person that made HLP the previous month. You want to help them make VF, help them fast track to 2,000. And I promise you, if you will put blinders on and decide that I'm going to promote one new HLP every month, and I'm going to help the previous month's person or somebody from the previous month make VF. If you'll do that until you have 5 sales coordinator legs, you'll have a business that'll bless your family for 3 generations. But you've got to decide to buckle down and do it. And you've got to become a master at laying the individual brick. That's the only way you can teach hundreds of people to lay bricks with you.
So, Curt, can I butt in there and ask you to do this? So it's really important to believe that Juice Plus is the best thing a person can buy.
Yep.
The next thing is to believe that this business model of ours works. Mm-hmm. And so for the new people on tonight, and I'm glad we've got a bunch of new people, and there will be a bunch more who will watch this in the next few days, the recording.
Yep.
I know what's going to be in some of their minds, so do you. As powerful as your story is, it began 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So there's a little voice that's going to be saying to them, does this still work today? So I'd love you to briefly tell the Casey Schloss story, because you and Casey and her hubby are very close. And what she achieved just a couple of years ago is amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, Casey and Chris are both pharmacists, and she left to be a stay-at-home mom after her first child, right when the first child was born. And they've elevated to the top, and they're working on replacing Chris's income now. They've already replaced hers. She's retired at home, 12 years of schooling as a pharmacist. But there are lots of. They just bought a big home in outside of St. Louis, and the goal is this year to get Chris his income as a pharmacist replaced too. But there are lots of stories like that out there. And my daughter Hope is 22 years old in college, and she's making, a couple $1,000s a month while she's piddling in school. I mean, she's literally playing with this business while she does sororities and in life and church in school, and she's about to graduate. And she doesn't have to get a job if she doesn't want to, because she built a business while she's in school. You've got Jake and Jenna Rude that are coming to Atlanta this week. They've done the same thing. We've got, new people in Montreal, Canada this week that are signing up. A new person in Austria that signed up this week. And so the business is growing all over the place. But here's the best way I can paint the picture to you. When I got started in this business, we had our first child 3 years later. When he was born, we took pictures. It was amazing. We shared those pictures. When we got home, we got home, we went to the drugstore, got the pictures developed. We bought baby invitations. We licked envelopes. We stamped the envelopes. And at least 50 people got a picture from us in the mail within 30 days of my child being born. There were 50 people that saw that baby's picture within 30 days. Well, my son had his first child 2.5 years ago. I promise you there were 50,000 people that saw that picture within 30 days on Facebook. And, you can choose to build your business at the speed of yesterday or the speed of today. But the exciting thing is that it's happening faster today, more often today. And probably the most exciting thing is it's much easier to build a business outside of your neighborhood. Lori and I really had to build our business within a 30-minute drive of our house because we couldn't afford to travel. We didn't own a fax machine. Cell phones were too expensive. And so we were forced to get in the car and go visit people or be on the phone. And today you have so many tools and so many resources. And we didn't have a research study when we got started. All the research studies came out after we started. We started with no research. We started with no PowerPoint. We had 35 millimeter slide projector, So it is easier today to do it than it was in the past. But either way, it takes work. It takes that devotion to sit down and buckle down and build your business. I mean, we have about 220 national marketing directors on our team that we've been a part of their life and helping them build their business to get their family financially secure because of Juice Plus and have financial freedom. And so I know it's possible. The 4-minute mile has not been run once. It's been run many times. And the good thing is you can either build your business in Juice Plus, you can build it fast or slow. You don't have to do it fast. Faster is easier, but you don't have to do it fast.
Well, that's incredible, Curt. As we said at the beginning, you had a lot of wisdom and a lot of practical advice to share, and I think you succeeded in doing both. And I know it's late there in Atlanta. So
because it's so special having Curt on, we won't cut this off as we normally do after half an hour, because I'd like you, Curt, to talk a little bit about just your vision for the future.
Sure. I guess I get a little bit, after 30 years, you paid your dues, and I do get to talk to a lot of people at corporate and hear, the rumblings of what's ahead of us and what's down the road. We still probably are at about 2% penetration in the U.S. In terms of the population being on Juice Plus. On or aware of Juice Plus, not even just on it. The Children's Health Study has such room to grow. The Omegas just came out. There'll be amazing new whole food products, in the pipeline down the road. But Juice Plus being the #1 selling, most researched whole food nutrition product in the world. It's kind of like Coca-Cola. I'm in Atlanta, and if I'm ever going to drink a soft drink, it is not going to be Pepsi. It's going to be, Atlanta is the home of Coke, but it's amazing how much money is still being made in Coke today. It's not saturated. The market for beverages is not saturated, and so I look at Coke and Pepsi in that soft drink industry, and they're kind of neck and neck battling each other. But the interesting thing is we've almost positioned ourselves to be the Coke in our industry, and there's not a Pepsi. So the product, and in terms of the branding, the research, and the positioning of our product, it's never been better. But what you have going for you is there is an emerging group of people. In the U.S., I think it's 70 or 80 million people. It's the largest single segment of the population, whether you call it millennials, Gen Y, whatever you want to call that emerging group that's very internet, tech savvy percentage of our population. It's a younger percentage of our population. They are all emerging into the workforce, looking for a place to make a difference versus just have a job. And
looking to make a life.
What's that?
Looking to make a life.
Looking to make a life. I look at my daughter, I look at my kids, and they get out of school with great degrees, they're smart, and they go get a job, and it's almost like for the ones that have big dreams, their bubble gets bursted because they had no idea they were going to go to school to get a cubicle, a computer, and a commute. Mm-hmm. And that's what most of them find out comes after the degree. And so there's an emerging segment of the population. Yes, they want to make a lot of money, but I actually think time freedom is the greater commodity than the dollar today. And what I love to share with people is that this business gives you the opportunity to stop trading hours for dollars. And most everything that's emerging today is giving young people the opportunity to trade their life's hours for the almighty dollar. And so I really believe that our business model has a voice bigger than it ever has because people want control of their future, control of their destiny. And so I think the real future, at least over the next 24 months, of people that really want to build their Juice Plus business is to understand that this product is amazing. Juice Plus is amazing. But there is many people out there that need our business to improve their life as they are that need our product to improve their life. And it's very easy to watch Dr. Rick Du Bois, read the research, and see how amazing our product is. But you need to work on your understanding and belief in this amazing company and this amazing virtual franchise model so that when you go out and share with someone, because I can tell you, I can be just as excited about this business changing somebody's life as I can the product changing their internal body because I've seen it. I don't need the research. I've seen it happen in 220 families' lives that are being blessed. And way more than that, but 220 that have reached the pinnacle, the top in our company. And so we've got an opportunity over the next 10 to 15 years to use a product it's the flag, the stake's in the ground. I mean, I can go talk to a soccer mom or a neurosurgeon, and none of them can tell me the product doesn't work. We're way beyond that with the research. So the product works. You got to decide if you're going to share the business model to change people's lives, just like you've been committed to sharing the product to change people's lives. And that's what I think the future holds for us.
Absolutely. Well, Curt, thank you so much. I think in the interest of time, partly because we try to keep this to 30 minutes, but also because it is, as I said, very late East Coast time for you. So we won't open it up for questions if you're okay with that, Mick, tonight. I think otherwise we'll keep Curt on for the next hour because there are so many things that I'm sure we would love you to cover.
Why don't we take 3 questions? Come on. Well, we're blessed to have Curt on. He is the best So let's take 3 questions.
All right, 3 questions. We have to unmute everybody. Who's going to go first?
I don't know. It's I don't know.
I don't have a question, but Curt, this is
Hold on a sec. I'm going to mute everyone again. And Nicole, can you unmute yourself? Thanks.
I don't really have a question, but Curt, this was a remarkable training. I've written down people that I need to send this to, and my husband's at the top of the list, because going all in and ignoring those distractions, and just getting it done and focusing on those building bricks. Thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Nicole. 2 more. Come on. Don't miss this opportunity. Wow. Okay. You're muted, Julie.
I have a question.
Oh, good. Thanks.
I know, I personally know that there's a way to make money in the business, but when you have somebody who continually tells you that they can't afford to do it, they want to do it, but I can't afford the 50, I can't afford this or whatever. I guess I need a stronger way to show them how they can make, I mean, what would just be a few sentences that you could say to them, Curt?
Curt's muted.
Well, Kurt's muted now, Mick.
Well, Curt can unmute himself. He knows how.
Are you saying how do you get them to understand they can afford the product?
They can afford the product, or, even telling them, they want to be a rep, even talking to them and saying you could be a rep and make some money, but sometimes they still have objections. So getting past those objections.
I mean, anybody makes a decision based on what their belief level is. I'll tell you a quick story to answer your question. I mean, there are people, like I said, making $500 a month and $500 an hour and everywhere in between. And there are people saving hundreds of dollars a year, thousands of dollars a year on their health cost because they're on Juice Plus. But here's the story that'll make you understand the real answer to this. I was taking my son. They were in the semifinals of the state football championship, and it was on the south side of Atlanta, kind of out a good 30, 40 miles out of town. And we were scheduled to go deer hunting that weekend. So we went to his football game, and after the game, instead of him riding the bus back, we jumped in the truck and we took back roads over to where our deer hunting property was. It was late. It was a road neither one of us had ever been on before. And he's just kind of, taking in the scenery. And he had never seen, I don't know that he'd ever seen where we'd been on a road where the zoning allowed there to be so many mobile homes for miles and miles in a row. And he says, Dad, I've never seen houses like this. He says, they're not very big. I said, well, they're just different, son. It's manufactured houses versus, houses with a foundation. And he said, well, they seem smaller. And I said, I'll tell you what, son. I said, why don't you keep watching and tell me what you see? Because I had noticed something unique. And so we were driving down there, and I said, what are you seeing? He says, well, it's getting dark. And he says, about every third or fourth one, there's this huge blue light. They've got flat screen TVs inside their houses that are as big as the wall in their house. And I said, yeah. I said, keep looking. I said, what else? He says, some of them, the driveways are small, but Dad, they've got like Lincolns and Cadillacs and Mercedes parked in their driveways. And I said, yeah. I said, do you know why I asked you to look at those things? And he said, no. I said, Zach, this was Trey. I said, Trey, I said, people find the money to pay for what's important. There are people that would rather have a 70-inch TV than a nicer house. There are people that would rather have a $70,000 car in their driveway and live in a $30,000 house. It's their choice. They could do things differently, have a different house, have a different car, not have a TV, but people decide and make priorities based on what's important to them. And so it's your job to help them understand that their health is important. Fruits and vegetables are important. And if they want their family to benefit, then they can either pay for the product, they can become a distributor and get a discount and get it at the cheapest price for their whole family. They can get a few customers and pay for it themselves. But they have to understand that it's a choice. When you see people that are on minimum wage that have 70-inch flat screen TVs and tell you they can't pay for Juice Plus, it's not they can't pay for Juice Plus. They're making a choice. And that's the reality, because Juice Plus is not expensive. You know.
And I think that's a wonderful illustration to finish on. So, Mick, I'm going to limit you to 2 questions tonight. That is it. I want to bring this full circle to what Curt said at the beginning. We have, I know, a number of people on our team probably listening to this call who say, well, I'm stuck. Well, if you recall what Curt said at the beginning, he asked, are you all in? So if you feel that you're stuck, I would suggest that you look at yourself, you look at your business, your belief, and you ask yourself, am I all in? So if you'd like to have another opportunity to chat with Curt, then plan on joining us in Phoenix in April. We will all be there at the conference. It's right towards the last weekend in April, I believe it is. And so that would be a wonderful opportunity. And other than saying thank you so much, Curt, we're really blessed to have you join us this evening. I just want to mention that next week, same time, same place, we will be hearing from Janet and Garth Taylor, who have just come back from a fantastic 3-week trip to New Zealand. And very timely topic next week, because they will be sharing with you how best to help your rep do not only the HLP, but more importantly, complete their 2,000 plus as well. As Curt said, it really is not hard. So thanks again, Curt. Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah.
We need to find that time when you're going to come and visit, okay?
I know. I tried to come. My kids had connections in Steamboat. They had to go to Steamboat this time. So.
I know. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, it's a poor excuse. If you don't come in the next 12 months, or 13 at most, then you're excommunicated.
That's the deal.
Okay, thanks a lot, everybody.
God bless everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.